Hi everyone, Cece here for Scrapbook Centrale, and welcome to our Art Journaling 101 series. In a previous tutorial Tuesday, I did this cover for an art journal, and as I mentioned during that video, we will have a series on art journaling. Well, it's finally here. So today is week 1. So starting from today and for the next 3 consecutive weeks, we will fill in our art journal pages. And every week we'll focus on a well-known artist. And for this week, we're going to use products and techniques that were developed by Diane Reevely, who is an artist who designs for Ranger Ink. So I encourage you to follow along with this series. But before I get started on journaling, I'll show you what you're going to need to complete today's 2 pages. The journal I'm using is from Basically Bare, and we have that format in the store as well as a larger format. So if you haven't already purchased your journal, you can take a look at the ones that we have. You also might want to start a second journal and make sure that you have blank pages, because this is what we're going to use to recuperate some of the extra ink on our working journal. You'll need a roll of paper towel, the craft mat by Ranger, the heat tool, 1 large sheet of wax paper, enough to cover underneath your page that you're working on, Claudine Helmet's white gesso, Claudine Helmet Studio multi-medium in matte, the collage glue stick by Ranger. You'll need a blank piece of manila or vanilla cardstock, a white Sharpie poster pen, jet black archival ink, a Faber-Castell artist pen big brush in the black, a brush and a pair of scissors, Tim Holtz water brushes. From the Dilutions collection, the ink sprays by Diane Reevely. This one is Fresh Lime and Black Marble. Additionally, we're going to use water brushes by Rangers that are filled with ink sprays in the colors Black Marble, Fresh Lime, Cut Grass, and Postbox Red. Ruby Red liquid pearls, a paper piercer. The following Dilutions stamp by Diane Reevely. This one is the Right Words number D. YR34520, basic backgrounds number DYR34568, as well as Pondering Petunia number DS012. A stencil or template also by Diane Reevely. This one is called Dilutions number DYS34247, and as you can see, it's already well loved. A trick I found useful is to protect the other pages of your journal with a piece of wax paper wedged in between the pages. For this one here, it doesn't really matter because this is my cover, so I have no other sheets in the back of it, but I will protect this side here, especially since I have a tab here on the acrylic page. So I'm just going to wedge a piece of wax paper right there, and this will protect my other pages underneath because we are going to spray and get dirty. The first thing I want to do is I want to create some sort of an opening here in the corrugated cardboard of the journal. So I'm going to take a water brush and I'm just going to put some water right in the middle here, just so that I weaken the top layer of the cardboard. Now I'm just going to take a paper piercer and I'm just going to start lifting this layer to expose the this part here. Now what I want to do is I want to leave some of these bits and pieces just to create again that opening to show that something is popping out of there. So I'm not going to remove these bits and pieces, and you'll see what we're going to do. Like so. I'm going to spray my 2 pages with both Black Marble and Fresh Lime. I'm going to start with the Fresh Lime, and most of it will be on this side here and right up here. Then I'll take the black, and I want quite a bit of that black all over here. And here's when your extra journal comes in handy. I'm just going to pick up some of that extra ink And then I'm going to take my handy dandy paper towel. So I've got a nice mess here, which is exactly what I wanted. I also wanted to show you that you can actually use the leftover on your craft mat to pick up with your other art journal, and that way nothing gets wasted. If you're doing tags, then that would be a perfect time to grab a tag and just soak up all that beautiful ink. Next thing I want to do is to stencil these flowers from the Dilution stencil with some more black, and this time I'm going to go very close, and I'm not going to dab too much. I'm just going to go very lightly. Alright, well that was a giant mess. And I can't redo it. Obviously put too much, and it created a big pool here because it went underneath the stencil, so I'm just gonna have to gesso this. But one cool thing that I was able to do is I was able to get partial, I took the stencil right after I sprayed it, and I went like this, and I got some nice designs. They're not full flowers, but it's quite cool. It's a nice texture. So I'm going to leave that there, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to gesso over this. I want to try something different, so instead of applying the gesso with a brush, I'm going to use a spouncer right here. Oh yes, that's exactly what I want. So this will take the edge off that dark black. I think I'm going to pop a few of that gesso here in the corner just to create, oh, I like that. Alright, it creates a nice outline or contour for my pages, so I'm quite happy with this. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry, and as you can see, the ink has kind of colored the gesso here, which I quite like. It's not so stark white. So I'm going to leave this, I'm going to put this aside to dry, and we'll work on some stamping. I have a piece of manila cardstock here, and I'm very limited with my piece. I just ripped it off of my second journal, and I want to stamp, let me show you, I want to stamp this girl here, but without the head. You'll see why in a minute. So I'm just going to ink up the bottom part of her, and I'm going to stamp this. We're going to cut that out, so it doesn't matter if my piece is short. I'm just going to stamp her on here, and I'm going to stamp the other head right here. And yes, you guessed it, I'm going to put a different head on my girl. I'll stamp it right here. Alright. So now I want to color my girl, and I'm going to use first and foremost the Postbox Red. The vibrancy of the color that comes out of the water brush, this was filled in with, this was filled up with the sprays. So basically you just remove the top and that little black thing here in the middle, and to get the scoop on how to refill the pens. You can watch Diane Reevely video that I'm going to link up down below. So I'm just going to keep on coloring her. It's so easy to color with these brush with the Dilution ink. I love it. I'll use the other green for her boots here, the detailing on her boots, and I guess I'll give her some green highlights here because she's a funky lady. And I want to do her hair black. I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. Okay, so you can still see there's a nice background text in the stamp, which I didn't want to hide. So I'm going to go very lightly with the black. Aren't those stamps fun? I love them. And I'm also going to color, obviously, the dots on the ladybug. And I'm also going to color her eyes right here, the light green, just to make her even funkier. So now I'm going to cut out both of these, and I'll be right back. I just want to show you also that I stamped the hand on that piece of paper as well.